What's up, and welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Rock God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan Papa Sun Killer and Dan Emperor Disco. How's it going, fellas?
It's going good. It's going good. Happy to be here as always. Another episode for the masses.
Yeah.
All right. Love the enthusiasm. Today, we will be reviewing season 2 of Bel-Air. Bel-Air is the reboot and dramatic version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that came out a long time ago with Will Smith, and now we have a whole new cast come back for a second season, and even more drama. Um, the, this I don't know what to say about this season. Honestly, not too much. It was very similar to the first season.
Mhm.
Relationship wise, it was the dynamics were again similar. You had some of the same um well, what do you call them? Like storylines between the characters and their dynamics. Those returned, and we continued the story, and it was good. It was good. I don't know if it was great, but it was good. That's like my non-spoiler review. So, what you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I had fun with it. I said last time when we did a review of season one, I like this show more than I like the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Hmm.
Still stands true. Still stands true to me. I'm always going to prefer drama over it. I know you
Yeah,
disagree. I think everybody disagreed with me last time. When I
yeah.
think everybody in the world is going to disagree with me on this, which is fine. But I don't know. It's just I do enjoy the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy the stories and just Bel Air more. The storytelling there. Um, they introduced a new character in Doc this season who
Yeah.
doesn't exist in the original thing. It was an interesting character. You think of him as one way, and then in the end, turns out not that way exactly. They kind of it was like a little bit of a
Sure, they
you
they
know
presented him as a black and white, like
yeah
you as a like
yeah
he's
exactly
an evil person, and then you realize like he's playing within this corrupt system, and then
yeah
uh he's trying to benefit, and he's trying to give other
yeah
people benefits
yeah.
from the system.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Like and they say it all the time. It's like that's his hustle, but at the same time,
yeah,
he's doing it while also
yeah,
bettering other people's lives.
yeah. So
You see where he's coming from. I was like, okay, that was a cool, reveal. But yeah,
Especially, he was helping a lot of like kids that don't have the same
exactly.
opportunities as people from Bel Air. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Uh, but my personal non-spoiler overview of it is I guess I feel kind of similar to y'all. It wasn't like the greatest thing I ever watched, but it had decent drama, and I was there for it. And I, I don't know if I would watch it if it wasn't for the podcast. To be honest,
mm,
I'll throw that out there. But because I did watch it for the podcast, I gave it my good old college try, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Eh, I kind of felt like I was watching Seventh Heaven, but with like black people, and
I can
just
see that.
because I used to watch it all the time because we didn't have like cable, advanced
Mhm.
cable, so we used to just watch that, me and Eric, and it was like a lot of drama and kind of bickering between in the characters that
yeah.
I don't necessarily remember in the original Fresh Prince. Then again, I don't know, my memory's crap, so maybe that's just me, but it felt like Black Seventh Heaven for me, and uh, it's pretty interesting. All the characters kind of got their own shine this season, except maybe Ashley. I mean, she was there for like 2 seconds, but she did play a pivotal role in my
Yeah, I was about to
opinion.
say like her stuff like stemmed out and became like a major thing,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. So overall, I out of a two thumb system, I would probably give it a one thumb up,
Mm.
maybe three-quarters of the way up. It was good. It wasn't like
yeah,
too. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm not gonna tell my mom to watch it or my friends, and people pouring to me, you gotta watch Bel-Air. That's definitely not the vibes I'm trying
I
to get.
can't while you do it. Jesus.
If you if you got time to spare and you like drama type shows and you're down for that like inter-character tension and build up and release type TV show, then this is definitely going to be the show for you because there's a lot of that, a lot of characters kind of beefing and then resolving and then family and then they're beefing again and then family and a lot of cycles. But overall, it's pretty cool to watch them kind of take that original Fresh Prince idea and really just take the ball and run with it because
Yeah.
that's what they're doing, and then pretty cool, modernized take on the Fresh Prince. So yeah,
Yeah. So for me, the original Fresh Prince was more about the comedy and getting into these situations that were comedic and like it was a sitcom, like it was all about the funny and the laughs, and you had your dramatic moments sprinkled out through the seasons here and there, some serious stuff, and uh to spread a message. Here it's more, it is 100% a drama show, barely any comedic relief, and it's all about the uh, talking about the social issues. Even though this is a ultra wealthy, rich black family, um, they're still dealing with like these issues as any other family, right? They have issues within the household, issues with the
it
jobs. Everybody's trying to,
it's pretty cool though,
succeed.
especially because like they kind of hit different like landmarks in the black culture because it's like you have people like Carlton who are like quote unquote like white, like so you get that you're not black enough type feeling with Carlton, and then on the flip side you have Will who's just like this guy's too ghetto. So it's kind of cool how they show all sides of the black community, and I think they do that really well, especially Ashley and Hillary. You kind of get to see like different charismatic, uh, black culture, just kind of like
Yeah. I feel like with
different
Vivian
aspects of it.
and Viv more probably than
Oh
anyone
yeah,
really. Like
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
yeah.
big on that. Like especially like through art and artwork, not just art, but like art that expresses and what's the word I'm looking for? Like it shines a light on black artists and young black artists specifically, what she's trying to do. One other thing I do like, thinking about it now, mentioning Viv, was and they did this in season one even more, the callbacks to bringing in actors and actresses from the original series in here, like
yeah.
in this one where are we in spoiler
The
territory?
original, the original Ashley.
So let's, before we
Yeah,
start the spoil,
yeah,
all right. Before we start the spoilers, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Go comment below. Let us know what you guys think of season two. Share with everybody. Go check out our social medias, and don't forget to look up the Los Wise Guys website, loswiseguys.com. And now, spoiler warning: if you have not seen the full season, go watch it. We're getting into spoilers. Go ahead, Dan.
yeah. So basically Aunt Viv, where she's getting the new job, where she's basically replacing the old second Aunt Viv
Yeah,
from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
yeah,
So it's cool that they had her do a callback. They did that with the last season when they had some people come back, and they had kind of like minor roles in here. This like the second iteration of Aunt Viv ended up having a little bit more of a role, I'd say, than the other people
yeah.
did, which was cool.
I
They
mean,
got to
she
bring her
showed
in
up.
for a little bit.
She showed up a couple times during the season,
Yeah,
but she was also like in dialogue a lot. Even though her
yeah,
character wasn't present,
you're
she
right.
was in dialogue a lot. With the promotion and like the art show, and with Vivian getting the taking her spot as the new director and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So she was constantly in conversation between the characters, and then she showed up a couple of times.
yeah. Well, and the one, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, and then like we had the, like Disco was saying, the old actress that played Ashley
Oh
in
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
in the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air came back as the teacher for the young new Ashley,
Yeah.
which I thought was very interesting. I really liked that
Yeah.
relationship.
You have Ashley working with Ashley, Viv working with Viv. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
Is Uncle Phil still alive? OG Uncle Phil?
No, he
Oh, he
passed,
did.
He
That's right.
passed.
Damn, that
unfortunately. Yeah,
sucks. That's like
it
you don't
That
know
would
how
have been
much I would
cool.
have loved. What about Jeffrey? Do we know if Jeffrey's alive?
I I'm not sure, but he's up there in age.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd
Well,
even want to come back.
yeah. I'm sure
It would have
people would
been
love to see him.
interesting if Will Smith came back as Lou
I'm not gonna
instead
lie.
of
That's
the
kind of what I assumed was gonna
yeah.
happen. You
That'd have
know,
been cool.
But I liked Marlon Wayne though.
that was a
He
big
he
surprise.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool if Will Smith came
Yeah.
back as just not slapping anybody though.
In this season, they had not having anybody.
Just slap the shit
In
out of
this
Will.
in this season, they had the guy that played Cyborg in Doom Patrol
Patrol
as
duty.
Jeffrey's son.
You're about
My
to
man
say
said patrol dudes.
You're about to say patrol duty.
That's, that's the Spanish brain. Everything's backwards. But they had the guy that played Cyborg as
Yeah,
Jeffrey's son. I
son,
thought
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
I
He had
didn't
the
even
little
realize that
accent
was
too.
him. You're right. That is him.
Yeah.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, it's fresh off Patrol Doom. You know, he got a little time.
Yeah.
I
um,
Jeffrey
so it's
still
kind of interesting to see some background story on Jeffrey and
Yeah.
this link with his son, and then how he kind of really didn't want anything to do with him, and then Phil jumped in and was just like, hey, you know, Jeffrey's been doing this for you all your
Yeah.
life, and you've been behind
Yeah.
the scenes, and kind of showing him what his father's really like.
Yeah.
Because I
He's
felt
James
like
Bond, basically.
when he first got there, everybody was just like, Jeffrey's the best, Jeffrey this, Jeffrey
Yeah.
that, and I felt like he was just like, if he's so great, why couldn't he be great for me? Like, you
Yeah.
know, those type of thing.
Yeah.
But it circled back and it worked out, and it'd been cool if the original Jeffrey was like,
That's what I'm saying. I would love to see OG Jeffrey in there.
as like his grandfather or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
just get.
Nah, he's whatever gang leader Jeffrey used to run with in East London.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What's it
'Cause-
called?
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to say about Jeffrey specifically. Well, Jeffrey's son. So he was in the original show. I don't know if you guys remembered. He had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one or two
He's
appearances.
the one that stole money.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
kept thinking that was something that was going to come back, and then they do have like a little suspense like thing at the end of the season during the season finale.
Mhm.
I wonder if that's going to lead to that, where
Yeah.
it's just like maybe he's in on whatever has happened. Like there's a picture that was shown of Jeffrey
Yeah.
speaking to his son when he came to visit him
Yeah,
in
it
Bel-Air.
looked like a blackmail envelope too. Like,
Exactly.
oh, we're gonna. If you don't pay us, like, I don't know, just very suspicious looking.
Well, it's
So-
interesting because
Or maybe
Uncle
they
Phil-
just know where his son is now, or who his son is, and now he's in danger.
Yeah.
Type. Of
Well,
thing.
what I'm saying is, wouldn't it be cool? Like if in the original show you had, I can't remember Jeffrey's son's name, but he's
it
out
was
there. He was
Joffrey, or whatever his name
Fred-
was. In
definitely
the,
not Joffrey.
uh-huh.
In the show is Frederick.
Frederick, there we
thank you.
go.
My man said
Joffrey.
Joffrey. I'm like, I know for a fact
Jeffrey
Joffrey's
and
not the son of
Joffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
Joffrey.
But no, like in the original show, Frederick was the one who stole the money. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do like a twist on that, where here he's the one who's working with quote unquote the blackmailers, because they said that he was trying to run with those gangs. Like that's how Jeffrey found out when Phil told him. So it's like I would like to see if that's something where it's like he's trying to extort
Well,
money, maybe
well,
or something out of Jeffrey.
Phil told him like your father's the one that kept you from even going into those gangs.
Yeah, but it's like we knew that, and then I want to say at one point earlier in the season they mentioned that he was trying to join up with those gangs, and they wouldn't let him. I think it's when he was
Yeah.
speaking to Jeffrey, and he's just like, because Jeffrey like had ties back there still somehow, or it's just like they didn't let him join because Jeffrey
That
was
was
in the know.
That was Uncle Phil talking to Frederick
Yeah.
before he was
That
going
was
to
it?
leave.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what it was.
He's like
Okay.
he's the one that kept you away from them. Like,
But how do we know that
Mm.
Frederick didn't actually join up with them when nobody knows? And like he
Uh,
has something
True,
to do with the
true.
extortion. That's what I'm saying. It's like I could see them doing something where it's like I feel like you almost have to, that's such a I
But-
feel like a memorable point in the show, in the original show, where it's like I would like to see that done here in a more dramatized version. How would you do that? And I think that's how you would do it. You have Frederick, it turns out he did join the gangs and he was trying to use that to, you know, do something to get extort Jeffrey in some way.
Yeah, totally.
one thing I gotta say about this show is the fucking like clothes. Jesus, like
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, they are in Bel-Air too, so they got money for all that
Sure,
style
but,
and
like-
show off extravagance. Because they did have crazy
I was
nice
just
outfits.
like looking at some of the outfits that they were wearing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck,
It's,
why?
it's not even the outfits. You know what gets me?
Uh,
Not one person has one hair out of place
yeah,
in
yeah,
the entire fucking series.
that's
I was
true.
just it's just like I'm over here. I need to trim my
But
beard. I need a
that's
haircut. And it's just like you see it, it's like it's a perfect line. Like somebody grabbed a ruler and they were getting diameters and everything, and just they were making sure it was perfect on point. I mean, I know some people like have it on point, but nothing like this show. Nothing
yeah.
like
when
this
you
show.
when you got that Bel-Air money, you can afford to
They
get that,
probably got
trimmed up
barbers
every
on
day.
retainers.
I guess, but I
Yep.
mean, I feel like even Lou had he came in and was like, "Hey, you're about to be on the show. You got to get a fresh cut real quick." Like,
I
like you
just
know,
Uncle Phil's beard is weird, man.
but it's lined up perfectly.
It is lined up perfectly, but that shit just goes like straight back. It doesn't like go
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I
It's
know.
just like it's weird. It's weird. I don't
He,
know.
he
I feel like
afraid
he
of
and
them
Jeffrey are constantly
sideburns.
about to flex out their suits too. Like they're one flex away from just incredible hulking them suits. Like it's crazy.
But my yeah,
all,
well,
all fitted.
Jeffrey is still my favorite character in the show because he's so mysterious.
You just don't fuck with Jeffrey.
Yeah, I know you don't. And oh man, like the when they went to speak with Doc,
Oh my god, yes.
and he was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, big man, I'm telling you, you don't want to make that move." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh shit."
And
He
there
was
was the
like,
one
I
point
don't
where it
think the
was
conversation's over. It's
exactly with
like,
Doc's
oh,
partner. He's getting rock out. I was like,
okay.
no, they're not finished talking to you yet, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Fucking love Jeffrey, bro.
I want to
You do
see
not fuck with
Jeffrey go
Jeffrey.
full on Jason Bourne on somebody. Like,
Bro.
I want to see
Uh,
why he should be like people should be scared of him.
it's fun.
Um,
Like I don't like action anything really, but if they were just like, we're gonna make a spin-off action series starring
so
Jeffrey, I'm
I
all
just
about
like
it.
how they Jeffrey's pretty much Alfred in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I love. Like
Yeah.
Jeffrey's like the Alfred to this family, and he's like
Yeah.
ready to pull out a shotgun and man the Batcave at any
Yeah.
moment.
Like, he
And
murdered somebody or had someone killed in the first season. Like,
yeah, yeah, like the fucking the gangster that was after Will.
yeah.
he's ride or die for sure. Even there was one point he was like, "Let's handle this," and he was like, "No, chill, chill, chill."
Oh man, it's just it's wild, but that's one fun thing about the show. And then you have like they go into like deeper um storylines such as like the racism and in the school with like or like the curriculum where it's like very whitewashed or
Yeah.
they're not reading books or like giving accurate accounts of like
No.
the slavery or what black people went through and when the teacher Miss Hughes I think she was
Yeah,
called in the
Yeah,
show,
that sounds about right.
she started giving Ashley some books. Some other students complained, and she was apparently in the background fighting for a better curriculum, and they wouldn't do it. And then this whole protest thing came about, and that's important because Carlton was got like kind of just pushed in the front line of this protest, and he became the de facto leader for the protest, and he ended up having I was about to say heart attack. Ended up having a panic attack
It's very
to
different.
a panic attack during the
all the
protest
all that coke he's on.
I was about to
because
say, I was like, he's probably not far from it.
they were supposed to do a silent one without any signs or anything. They were just gonna do a walkout and go back in. That's the deal they made with the faculty and like the board. And he was supposed to give a speech anyways, and he didn't. And Will ended up stealing back the banner that they confiscated from them and getting on the roof and putting it. And he gets suspended. But then this kind of starts Carlton. He
It's
was trying to
after
get off his
they
meds.
explicitly said not to too, so it's kind of a big deal, especially to like fight the power. And there's a lot of black empowerment there, especially all the black students are standing up for the black teacher, and everybody's trying to like be one as a unit. And so it's kind of cool to see them all come together. And even though, and then there's like micro things that happen too, like you were saying, the anxiety attack, and then Will kind of getting praise when he's just kind of just being himself. And yeah, so I kind of really cool how they do involve that racial empowerment, the black empowerment. Um, they slipped it in like really cleverly.
One thing the show did well that they took from the originals, like the dynamic between Carlton and Will, and the fact that Carlton always wants to be liked and to be brave and to be like Will when situations like these happens, but he ends up always getting in his own head and worrying more about the authority figures because that's who's in control of his life.
Mhm.
So he doesn't get the affection and the praise that he wants from his peers. Um, but Will gets it, and then he's jealous of him because he can't do the same, even though he wants to. So we get to see that a lot, very well done here throughout the season, and then it that happened a lot in the original Fresh Prince. So I like to see that, and then that slowly causes Carlton to go back to the cocaine, and then that's the season finale, right? The season finale is when he finally says, "I have a problem. I'm getting high. I'm high right now." When he wins the award, and who knows what's his senior year is going to be like, whether he's going to be able to get into Princeton or do all these things that he wanted to do. And then Will and Uncle Phil were able to work out a deal with Doc, who was taking kickbacks and kind of pushing his players. Who he was running a basketball team for these guys who so they can get into the NBA, and he was pretty much getting bribes or whatever from schools, which they already do to other like high schools and stuff for like getting them into college. And but you find out later that Doc was actually also buying these guys groceries, paying bills, and like doing that stuff on the down low. And his ex partner, who wanted to take like this gang money to do the same, and they had a falling out, and then they made a deal where Doc will buy him out, and then that guy was like, they're like, hey, just go do what you want to do, but don't fuck with my team. And then it ended up working out there. And then Will gets also told by his ex coach from Bel-Air Academy that, hey, next year, if you want to join the team again, you can join the team. So all that stuff happens, and we can kind of see where the next season, like I feel like in the first season when it ended, you had the issues with like Will and Uncle Phil, which was going back and forth through the whole season of having his freedom and stuff
Yeah.
to choose, and
Will
and you know,
also
yeah,
had conflict with Jackie and Lisa. He had two love
yeah,
interests. Jackie kind of being Doc's niece.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be a thing, but it kind of like fizzled out
they
because
were a
of
thing for a bit.
yeah,
Or yeah, short time. Yeah.
briefly, very shortly. And then it kind of got ruined because she knew that Doc was kind of like uh I guess because she was like withholding knowledge, really, I guess
Yeah,
because she knew
well,
about Doc's whole
yeah,
situation and
it
she
made
didn't
it
tell
seem
him.
like she was playing him so Doc can get what he wanted, which
Yeah.
was Uncle Phil, the lawyer.
Yeah.
So
But
that
I
they
just,
could fight, have some sort of defense against Lorenzo
yeah,
and
I just
save the team,
noticed
really,
this
because if the
now.
team if Lorenzo did do that, the whole team would be messed with, and they won't be able to play for college league, which would involve Will, and so Will
Yeah,
would not be able to pursue his career, and that was big for Uncle Phil too, and the reason why he kind of gave his ear out to actually listen to what
Yeah.
Doc has to say. So it's kind of cool to see that. Like you guys said earlier, they painted Doc black and white, and then you really got to see the gray. The motivation and
Mhm.
how not all bad people are necessarily bad. And maybe they look bad, but
Yeah.
they're just doing things to make ends meet. Really, um, and towards
the
the end of the season, he ends up going back with Lisa, who I personally like better. So go Will and see where their love blossoms.
one thing, Jackie is a character that was also in The Fresh Prince. She was
Yeah.
played
Tyra
by
Banks.
Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed that Will broke up, kind of like had a falling out with Lisa after they had sex.
Hmm.
And the same thing happened again with Jackie.
Jackie.
I was just like,
That's
what
the
the?
thing. In the original show, Jackie and Will never dated.
No, no, they
That was
didn't.
another thing. It's like
Mm.
she was introduced pretty much as like the female Will
Yes,
when there
yes.
was just like she was into
This,
playing basketball and stuff, which was like really cool. And it was just like when they first introduced Jackie, it was like, oh shit, and she's at the basketball court. I was like, oh, okay, she you know she balls or whatever. And I was like, they didn't go down that route, but they used Jackie to introduce
Hmm.
Doc, and I was like, I kind of like
yeah.
that. I kind of
Yeah,
like how they
no,
went
it
with
was
that.
a good
The
storyline.
same
Yeah,
thing kind of happened with Hillary and Jazz. They were never together, and then in this season they're together, and there was a lot of conflict there,
well,
in
they
my
ended up together.
opinion.
No,
Jazz
In
was
the
feeling
original show, I don't
insecure.
think so.
they didn't end up. They were dating at one point because I remember Hillary was
She
gonna.
did
Did
it to
they?
piss off Uncle Phil, sure,
They
but it
didn't
was
actually
fake
date.
dating.
Date. I could because I remember she was supposed to get married to the weatherman who died
Oh,
when one of the girls spilled,
Oh
etc.
man,
that
was he bungee
weatherman.
jumping?
Oh yeah, yeah. He
The
Oh
whole
god,
proposed
time
that
I
to
was
was just
her.
like,
crazy.
is the football player supposed to be the weatherman? Like I was like, I hope.
He proposed to her while bungee jumping, and then he just splattered.
Yeah.
Oh
It
man,
was
If
so
I
so
remember correctly, he
goddamn
was in the
funny.
middle of saying, "It's like, Hillary, will you?"
Marry me, and then he just
flat.
splatters.
Oh god, that that's that's the dark comedic genius from the
Yeah,
Fresh Prince that you don't really get here. But you did get, some romances blooming. Jazz was feeling insecure because Lamarcus was kind of jumping into the picture, trying to get Hillary back, and Hillary is kind of like feeling it too, tension because Jazz is feeling insecure about the financial aspect of their relationship. He is feeling like yes, she makes more money and he'll never be able to like fit in type of thing. But at the end of the day, they kind of work their differences, and Hillary comes back to Jazz. So there's a
she
couple
doesn't.
bloom. She doesn't.
No, she goes with
She
Lamarcus.
goes with Lamarcus. Yeah,
They went on the plane. I
Yeah,
thought she
so
showed up as.
Jazz she showed up to Jazz's place, or no, Jazz went to her place before she
Yeah.
left, and
yeah.
they had that conversation. They talked. He kissed her, left, and then he was back at his record shop, and then the door knocks, and you think it's her, but it's
Oh,
actually
Because they
Lamarcus, and
actually
then
show her knocking
yeah,
it, and then they show her because he was gonna go answer the door, and then he was
yeah.
getting like an Amazon delivery or something,
Yeah,
and
he
then they
went to
cut to
answer the
her.
door. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you see her face, but then it goes to the camera flips
Lamarcus.
around and she's
Marcus.
at Lamarcus and she's like,
Ah,
"Let's
Yeah.
go," and then he's just getting a package
you're.
delivered. I was like, "Damn!" But yeah,
Real quick, shout out to the fact that they had West Coast Contra in this show.
Oh, I did want to mention that too.
Is it West Coast
They're
Contra? Now,
awesome.
now I forgot. Is that what they're called?
I think
Yeah.
something Contra. I
I know it's
remember them
Contra. I was like,
saying
is
it.
it West Coast? Now I'm not sure.
It's Coast Contra.
It's Coast. I was about to say because they're from Philly. There's no way they're called West Coast Contra.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, Coast
Coast
Contra.
Contra.
When I saw Coast Contra, I was like, okay. I was pretty excited about that. There was a minute where I was listening to them for a little bit. Obviously, not that well since I couldn't remember their name, but enough to the point that I did enjoy them. New version of
I
Wu
uh, I,
Tang.
ki-
New
I
version of Wu
kind
Tang.
of fell off rap, but my brother shows me them, and
Yeah,
I'm always genuinely impressed every time that
dude. Yeah,
they
they're they're
have they
they're
all
good.
they all have solid bars. One guy
Yeah,
like does Spanish and English, and that one
yeah,
guy just has that really unique flow and voice.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Yo,
I've
yeah.
never heard anything like
Oh,
that.
the one
That's
is that
sick.
the one that sounds
The
like
new freaking
He
Busta?
has crazy hair too.
it's a combination of Busta and ODB.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah, I know
incredible.
who they are.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that one rap he posted on like social media where he's talking about seeing this girl and
He's
going
gonna
to
go
her
see the girl and
house
then
and
they
then he
jump
gets
her. Yeah,
beat up. Yeah, yo, that shit was so good.
it's so good.
It was so goddamn good. That almost
Yeah,
made
man.
me listen to rap again.
Yeah, man. It's good.
I,
There's some good rap
honestly,
out there, Eslam. You're missing out.
they're doing their thing, and I praise
I
them.
just
I
stopped
hope
listening to it. Period.
all the success. Honestly, me too. I used to be so into music, like playing music, listening to music. I gotta get better, and now I'm just like, I don't know. The passion just isn't there anymore. I like to play, but I
Yeah.
can't listen like I used to.
I like come across things that like almost force me to engage in it. And I was like, it is what it is. Like, I watch Dave, the Little Dicky show. So it's like I see
Oh yeah,
music with that, So it's like I see a couple of the shows or something where the music is just newer music's being thrown at me. That's so it's
Yeah.
like I kind of still. It's not like how it used to be when we were younger and we would just listen to all the new shit. But it's still there, still there. Ghost
I
Contra.
listen. I
and
try to listen here and
actually,
there to new stuff, like especially with the rock. But I've been off hip hop since like
Yeah,
we left high school. Like
yeah.
I was just like I was done with it back then. But let's wrap up this Bel Air Disco. What were you gonna say?
One second, Ashley. Ashley kind of looked like she was gonna get a romance. It looked like they were setting something up there.
Yeah.
She was like talking to this white girl, and they were like complimenting each other, and she's like, "Oh, nice rainbow badge." So it kind of, I feel like they were alluding to like next season, Ashley will have a nice little romance going on.
Well, they've
Um,
alluded that next season is going to be the summer break between junior and senior year.
Hmm.
I feel like that's what was happening during the end there, and then maybe we'll get that season is going to be the summer, and then senior year might be two more seasons if they break it up into like half semesters,
They could, because they eventually
half
have
year.
Will go to college. Will and Carlton are in college in the
True.
original.
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
mean,
they're
I don't
gonna
think
go
it's gonna
that
last.
far,
Yeah,
but that's because they were rooming together and then like they were in the clubhouse and going. But yeah, most of the stuff take and if Carlton's gonna go to Princeton, that's all the way on the other side of the country. So
no.
that means we lose him as a character. I don't know.
No, I
We'll
got you.
see.
I mean, but there's that. They could always change things around. Lisa
Well,
wasn't
now that he
introduced
fucked up
until
his
they were in
college
college.
career,
You know,
now that he fucked up his college career, he might be going to community college. So who
we'll
knows
see.
at this point?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Lisa is in high school with him now. That was not the case in the original show. She was introduced much later.
Yeah,
Jackie
yeah,
came before Lisa.
yeah. True.
So yeah, but I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I do enjoy the show. I see where you guys are coming at, where it's not like, it's not the best show and everything. Like Disco said, I wouldn't give it a 2 thumbs up, maybe a thumb pinky. I'll give you a thumb pinky. Shout out to the Scrubs reference. If
Aloha.
anybody who gets the Scrubs reference, shout out to you. But yeah, no, it's it's a good show. I enjoy it. I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna see where it goes from there.
I
It's
wanna I wanna get so rich that I can have family barbecues like they did. That was intense.
yeah, that was
They
crazy.
had football games. They had pie tasting contests. I was like, dang, people really go that far? Like
Well, it was a family reunion, not just a barbecue.
that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's
Still,
still pretty
still,
intense. I've
still
never.
very much.
I went to a family reunion. It wasn't like
Me too.
that.
Me too. It's not that. Not
Never
for
been
us.
to a family reunion. Thank
Yeah.
God. Um, Disco, do you have any final thoughts about this?
Final thoughts. My favorite characters, Jeffrey.
Easily.
I'm glad Will got back with Lisa. I think she's better for him. Carlton. Uh, Man, it's interesting seeing the Carlton ride. Seeing the anxious and mental health issue side that he kind of delivers on the show. So that's pretty cool
Mhm.
to alert awareness. And Ashley's got the whole like Gen Z, LGBTQT kind of theme going. So it's kind of Viv has the art
Mhm.
world, the standing up for herself as a strong black woman and speaking, using her voice and using it to help others as well. And Phil's got his things going. At the end, he got the text
He's
from
with that schemy bitch.
Erica, and she invited him to dinner or whatever, and he said sure. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering if there's going to be like some sort of spicy cheating there that they're going to
yeah.
throw in. Jazz, I'm wondering if what's going to go on with Jazz, and if they get back together with Hillary, or is Hillary just going to move on and just straight be with Lamarcus though the whole way. Um, I think those are the main hitters for me on the show. I think that's everybody.
For me, I guess the whole thing with the chick texting him, Jeffrey did warn him. He was like, careful with that, Phil, and one thing he said in the end when Carlton was like, when he went off on Carlton and Viv and stuff, he's like, I'm tired of giving everybody this great life and then being the villain of
Mhm.
it. And
Have you
he's
seen
like,
my beard?
yeah, he's like, fuck. He's like, he was pretty much like, fuck all of you.
Yeah.
And that's true. Like, I get like that. Vivian wanted her. He did like a bunch of times, like whenever she's having an issue, he's like, just
Just
fuck
give
it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck it.
not give up. He's like,
The last time, this last one though, like when he said it, I felt it before Viv said it. When she was like, "I'm just dealing with this," and then he was like, "Do you think it's time to hang it up?" And right there, I was like, "Come on, Phil, come on, damn." Shit.
it's like,
Like,
I get, I understand both their point of views.
yeah. Oh yeah,
He's like, we're fucking filthy rich. Like, you
yeah.
don't need to
Did
be
you see
stressing
our
yourself.
family
There's
reunion?
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
exactly.
like,
No
do you-
need to be stressing that
he's
hard.
like,
It's because
why do you,
he got them.
Yeah,
exactly, and then she's like, it's not about the stress. It's about for her, it's not about the stress or the money. It's about the purpose,
yep.
because her kids are all grown up now. It's like she did her job as the mother, and she's still doing her job as the mother,
Yeah.
but now she needs like this secondary
She wants a
purpose.
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course she needs that, and then like she needs the support of yes, just keep going, keep going, keep
Yeah.
moving
'Cause she
forward.
always does that for him.
Exactly. So I get both points of views, but
I agree.
it is what it is. I mean, you're
Yeah.
filthy rich. Just be like all the other white moms in this fucking neighborhood doing
Yeah.
coke and going out to fancy ass dinners that are super expensive, like that one lady was saying, like
I
at
don't know.
Nobu, that new chef at Nobu.
No, I'm telling you, when as soon as Uncle Phil said it, like I was just bad there. I got so pissed off at Phil. I was like, Viv, you better tell your man something. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Get him under control. He straight yelled like tantrum style at everybody. I mean, I feel his pain genuinely,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Uncle Phil ever did that in the original, but it was crazy. It was crazy.
No,
Uncle
It
Phil
was
used to
crazy.
fucking shout at people all the time. He'd wake up in the morning just angry.
But not. I don't feel like I don't know.
but it was a funny
I don't feel
ending.
like it was like this. It was like a tantrum, angry, like real, like
Oh yeah.
I'm tired of your shit. Like,
Oh man.
oh
All right.
man.
That's it for our review of Bel-Air season 2. We'll most likely do season 3 when it's announced and comes out next year, the year after, whenever it does. Um, we'll see how that goes. But I have some news. I'll go first, I guess. Let me share my screen, and we can start on my entertainment news. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with some HBO Max, Warner Brothers Discovery stuff. The new streaming service that will be combining HBO Max and Discovery Plus will be called Max. Just that, Max. And it will have a 3-tier pricing system. Max AD Lite, which is $10 a month or $100 a year for 2 concurrent streams. Max ad free, which is going to be $16 a month or $150 a year for 2 concurrent streams. I'm guessing that's 2 accounts watching at the same time. And then you got Max Ultimate ad free, which is $20 a month or $200 a year for 4 concurrent streams and 4K video. That's like the 4 accounts that you can stream at the same time. So that's cool.
I have a quick question, Eslam. Which one
What's
is
up?
the tier that do we have multiple tiers for HBO Max now?
No, it's just the $15.99. It's the middle tier.
$15.99. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the middle tier. I have it free through work, so it's like I need to know which one I'm gonna have once this
Yeah.
happens.
Straight up, I get mine free through Verizon, so I'm like, ooh,
I was like,
I
you guys
feel-
gonna give me that shitty one because I should be getting that middle tier. That's the case.
yeah, straight up. Hey, enough through Verizon.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the long-awaited sequel to the 2021 Mortal Kombat is set to begin filming this June. The film is rumored to also
Let's
include
go.
Barca.
Baraka?
No, that's
Oh,
stop. That's it.
Ah,
Baraka, Shao
Baraka.
Kahn, Sindel, and Quan Chi. I
Yeah.
can't
He
wait.
said, I
This
don't
man
even know
said
what he
Barca.
said. Barca? Oof, man, that sounds like a
It's
soccer team. or
Barack
something.
Obama. Yeah. Barack Obama is going to be on
No,
there.
I just recently rewatched this movie. It's not the greatest movie, but it's fun. It's
No,
a good
that's what
time.
we said. It was
Yeah.
a fun watch.
I was doing that. I've been rewatching a lot of the old Mortal Kombat games and storylines and everything. It's just like it's the 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
You know how much I love Mortal Kombat. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I hope they drop that the new character they made.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Kill 'em
MMA
off.
armor guy. That
Yeah.
was so like
His
underwhelming.
fatality.
Come on, dude.
Kill him and bring back Scorpion normally.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes. I like
All right.
that.
Next up on the new Max,
Ooh.
we are going to be
I do
getting
not like how that sounds.
what on the new Max?
Just
Yeah.
Max. Like,
Just Max.
It sounds weird.
We'll be getting a Harry Potter series, which has been announced officially. It's described as a decade-long story that will feature a brand new cast, and each book in the series will get a dedicated season. J.K. Rowling will officially be executive producer for the series. So I'm happy that J.K. Rowling is returning for this because then she can add the little details to fill in.
Fuck that. I hate the fact that she's there.
Why?
Because the whole she fucking hates like trans people. It's like a whole thing.
She's
Yeah,
prejudiced. Yeah.
She's like extremely prejudiced, like to the
Yeah.
point like she's just like, hey, support these rights that like try to stop like trans rights and all this other shit. She's heavily against it.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
care. I
She
just care
sent
about
a
Harry
couple
Potter.
bad tweets.
Yeah, I
Um,
just yeah, that's the thing.
I kind of wish they were doing like a new thing. They're just rebooting the same movies. I don't know.
it's
Like,
not
I mean, I
movies.
didn't read
It's
the
a
books. I
series.
guess there's a
So yeah. So
no, yeah, but they're like rebooting. They're repeating. It, it's not even
yes,
a
but it's
reboot.
not
It's
going to
just
be
a
the same as
re.
the movies because the movies left out a lot of details from the books, and then the books will like there's like the whole food appearing on the tables. It's not like it appears out of nowhere. The goblins are actually cooking it in the basement, and then they set it up on a table. You know, there's a lot of these little details and stuff that were left out of the book that like really expanded the universe, and I'm looking forward to seeing them being done properly.
Makes sense.
Um, and I'm sure with Max, each season is gonna be like 8 episodes long. Maybe like the seasons for the books, like starting with book like 4, 5, 6, and 7. Those might be a little longer because they were much thicker books. But yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see what happens. Um,
I
with
don't know. I
that,
still kind of wish it was something new. I get what you're saying, but I still. That's my opinion. I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean, I
wish
was
it was
never the
well,
something new.
biggest Harry Potter fan, so it's like,
listen,
yeah,
Yeah.
there
it's what it is.
it's kind of hard to get new IPs right now, so everybody's like, you
Go with
know,
video games.
recycling. Sure, yes, but they're recycling their stuff, and because they constantly need new content for streaming,
Yeah,
this is going to be happening often now.
yeah. If
They're
only
going to
they
go
had
back and
writers.
doing remakes and stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, they're on strike right now, so.
Exactly.
Continuing with DC, Warner Brothers, and stuff like that, James Gunn's Superman Legacy enters pre-production. We still do not have a Superman casted, but that should most likely be happening soon. I'm sure he has a couple of people in mind that he's going through casting right now.
I did read somewhere it was supposed to stop because of the strike.
The
Like
pre-production.
it was supposed to be like halted because James Gunn's supposed to. I think he's supporting it or
Oh,
something
right.
along those lines. So
Right.
I don't
I
remember
mean, he's
where I
the one
read
that
that.
wrote it and will be directing it,
Exactly.
but I understand if he's like supporting
Yeah.
his fellow writers and whatnot.
Exactly.
But I mean, this news came out a little while ago while I was
Okay.
still in Ramadan on
I
those mountain
gotcha.
islands, and I'm just coming back to it
No,
now.
I got you. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the Russo brothers would like to direct a film in James Gunn's DCU. More specifically, the um, Batman Brave and the Bold. So the Russo brothers are the ones who did Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And like I said, they're looking towards directing Batman and Robin DCU film The Brave and the Bold. Um, that would be interesting. I'd like to see their take on a DC movie and how would they do this father son story. I'm sure they're going to be doing since they're showing this picture Damian Wayne.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so that would be very interesting dynamic. I
Yeah.
would love to see.
I think that's what they said. I think it's supposed to have it. James Gunn when he first announced it, it is going to be Damian Wayne with Bruce, father son dynamic. Russo brothers. I mean, you know how I feel about the Marvel movies. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe not Batman. Anything else, you know?
We'll see. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is a Warner Brothers property. I just don't 100% remember,
I'm not
but
sure.
I
No.
just put it there. Whatever. A Twilight TV series is reportedly in development. I don't have much more information other than that,
Mm.
but uh, I remember watching the movies with my sister back in the day, and I did find some interesting themes within or like interesting abilities that these vampires had, and the werewolves weren't really werewolves; they were more like shapeshifters, and I don't know. There was some interesting things, and maybe with like this new series, the books can be adapted properly, maybe with like a better like just a better storyline other than it just being like this love story of just
Yeah.
like this guy who sparkles in the sunlight and this wolf dude that showed his abs all the time.
There's that creepy guy in the back. Who's that guy?
That's the father of the family,
Okay.
the Cullen family.
He's just watching
Just
it. I was like, what the fuck
awkwardly
he's doing back
like,
there?
Yeah.
you better not kiss him.
All right. Next up, Paramount Plus, Galaxy Quest TV series coming to Paramount Plus, which I will look forward to this. This was a hilarious movie back in the day. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and
Was it good? I never saw it.
no, it was really funny.
Okay.
And if
I
I'm
don't
not
think I've seen it
mistaken,
either, to be honest.
this is Professor Snape, right? Who's the
Yeah.
actor who played
Yeah,
Professor
so
Snape? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am
all
looking
three of them
forward
are
to
famous.
this.
I can't remember where she's from in the middle, but I
Yeah,
know her.
Is that
yeah,
Jodie Foster?
Is it Jodie Foster?
that might
I
be
don't
No,
know.
Jodie
it's not.
Foster.
No, it's not Jodie Foster.
It's
No, is
not.
that the Aliens one?
No, no, this is not Aliens. This is
No, I'm saying
Galaxy.
she from Alien. I can read.
Oh
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, yes. That's exactly. It's Sigourney
Okay.
Weaver. Thank you,
Sigourney
Disco.
There we
Weaver.
Sigourney
go.
Okay.
Weaver. That's who it is. Good call. Good call.
And that's Woody. I
Yeah, it's
don't know.
Woody from
Woody
Toy
Allen.
Story.
Yeah,
There it is.
Woody Allen. Yes. All right. And one of the best news that came out this past week. This is the first leaked still from the Avatar movie that will be showcasing Team Avatar as adults. And I am super fucking excited. I cannot wait for this. You don't know how I'm excited about this. Like, look at them. First of all, even though this is a shitty picture because it was taken at like a live event and it was
Yeah.
being screened, but like just the
Just look
quality,
at this.
It
just the
still looks
quality
really
of
good.
it's fucking amazing. Like the quality and it's like the awesome animation. Oh, I can't wait, man. Zuko looks badass in the
Yeah.
background.
Look at
Like
Toph, bro. Like, oh my god.
look at fucking Sokka. I can't wait to learn more about Sokka, man, because they
What
did Sokka
happened?
dirty.
What
They did
happened,
Sokka
you know?
dirty. I need to know more.
Bro, there are very few IPs that make me feel the way that this IP does. You
I
know what I'm
know,
saying?
it's
It's just like
wild.
it's so insanely
I'm just
good.
so happy that because of Paramount Plus, we're getting an Avatar Studios,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna be getting a lot of content from it, and
Yeah.
I'm super fucking excited.
Like I would fight somebody for this series. Like that's how I feel about the Avatar Last Airbender universe.
yeah.
Like I would fight somebody over this shit.
I mean, we've had our fights, but
No, I mean, no.
Yeah.
Physical. If somebody's just
This
like,
look-
oh, they just keep up radio. It's like, you know what? No, I can't let that stand.
This looks really good. I gotta say,
Oh, yeah.
my biggest gripe about the Avatar was that they're so young, and now they're not young. So I really want to see where they go with this new one. Pretty cool.
Next up with Netflix, we got Stranger Things is getting an animated series.
Okay.
Not much more about that, but they're getting an animated series.
See how that works.
Yeah. Also, Stranger Things creators announced new series called The Burrows.
I was waiting for this.
So Matt and Russo Duffer have gotten a series order from Netflix for The Burrows, a sci-fi drama that takes place in a New Mexico retirement community.
Nice. I love that. I
So
fucking love
it's
that
like
setting.
it's like what the fuck's gonna be happening?
That's perfect.
I can't wait. They went from super young people to a fucking retirement communities.
I love that so
like,
fucking much.
where's my retainer?
It's like, sir,
Like-
Mr. Wilson, you need to take your pills. It's okay. There was nothing out there. I don't know what a Demogorgon is.
You're gonna see a bunch of
Well, this
old
is
people
sci-fi,
banging.
so it's gonna be aliens. I
Yeah.
can't wait. Oh man,
Oh, man.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, next up.
Is it
Oh, yeah.
is it in the same time period? Did you mention that?
No, I don't know if it's in the same time period. What
Okay.
the
For the Stranger Things
new
animated
show? Oh, the animated. It should be. There's not much more information that I
No.
found on it yet.
Ah,
We'll figure it
okay.
out. I'm just curious if it's the same cast or if it's like a different cast completely. You know.
Mm.
of?
The Stranger Things with creator Matt to serve as executive producers. No, that's it.
Yeah.
They just announced an animated series with the
Yeah, I figured.
creators as executive producers. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Netflix also announces Scott Pilgrim anime featuring the voice cast from the 2010 film. All of them
Look
are
at this
reprising
cast.
their roles, and I can't fucking wait, man. This is gonna be fantastic.
Dude, this fucking cast is just sick.
I know.
Like-
I know. It's
Definitely a fun movie.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait for this anime. I love that it's also an anime and not animated series.
Yeah.
so-
The fact that we get Michael Cera voicing an actual anime is it's just hilarious to me.
I know it's gonna be great. And I think that is all for my news.
So I found this pretty cool picture of the Evil Dead Rise and the original Evil Dead. I think it's Ash or something. I
Ash.
forgot. his
Ash,
real name.
yep. You got it.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool to see them both together. But today I will be reviewing the new Evil Dead Rise that came out. First off, I just want to say I just want to say that it was pretty good. It was honestly I know a lot of people are harsh and hard on scary movies, but I really enjoyed this movie for the most part. It wasn't necessarily perfect, but the concept and just the way they kind of rebooted the Evil Dead world with the Necronomicon and uh, the different characters they used. It was really a fun watch. One thing I gotta say is the mom. Man, the mom did so well. I think for me, she kind of made the movie. She like just looked so crazy, and she acted so crazy as well. Alyssa Sutherland, she plays Ellie. She just had like you can see from the picture, like that her face just looks wild. Like
Mhm.
if I saw that through my little people, I would literally like poop myself. I wouldn't even know what to do. And it's just really fun to see her kind of lose herself, and then without giving too much spoilers, it it spreads and gets crazier and crazier and crazier. Like the situation just escalates and escalates and escalates until they have to resolve it.
Okay.
um, that that's the issue with me. With the movie is and that's just me particular. Some moments it was just like very gory, like you'll see like muscles get torn off, and like I know like I feel like that's homage to the originals because they were very gory and showing stuff like that. And so that stuff doesn't really appeal to me in like horror movies, so that kind of was a turn off for me, as some of the parts were like a lot of that. But overall, the theme of the movie and just the kind of the concept of people close to you kind of getting corrupted and having to be able to kill close loved ones that aren't really themselves anymore. It's like it's a really fun theme for me, at least. It's scary. I'm always daydreaming about worst case scenarios, apocalyptic scenarios, and sometimes that comes up. Like, what if my family turns into zombies or something? Like, will I have the balls or the boldness to actually pull defend myself against them, or shoot them, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's a tough question for me because
Yeah.
that's family,
Yeah.
and this movie kind of really dives head deep into that kind of concept. These undead, weird possession things start happening, and it just they wreak havoc on this whole building. And overall, I'm gonna give this one two thumbs up. Even though I did have some gripes, like I said, with the gory kind of slasher horror theme, but it was just homage, so I see why they did it. But overall, it was a great watch. Two thumbs up. I think IMDb gave it a 7.1, which is pretty high for a horror movie. And So if you get a chance, I would highly recommend watching this. Take your spouse, take your significant other, have a good time, get scared, have a good time, because it's not often you see a good horror movie these days. And so
Yeah.
I really felt like this was a pretty good one. Uh, I'm also kind of biased because I did watch the Evil Dead movies, and I even watched the TV show, as I mentioned in one of the other podcasts. So I do kind of have a bias, so maybe you want to take that into account before you go watch it. But overall, I think in general, though, it was a really great movie. Like I said, the mom, uh, man, she's just terrifying, terrifying. I have nightmares about her.
I have
And
a quick question. You said it was it is a remake.
reboot.
I'm sorry, that's
I
what I meant to
mean,
say.
I
So it is
mean,
a reboot. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
it is like a whole new story.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
Okay.
it's not a remake, it's a reboot. So it's
Reboot.
kind of they just get the Necronomicon and shit goes crazy just like the other
Okay.
ones.
All right. Cool. All right. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm in.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the first movie I'm reviewing. So they got two thumbs up for me, which I haven't really given in a while. So kudos to Evil Dead Rise. All right, so the next movie is Dungeon and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This one, I went in kind of just not expecting much. I honestly kind of thought it was going to be stupid.
Yeah. Looks
But
like it.
when I watched it, I enjoyed it. I was surprised.
A lot of people would
I
say
like
that. Yep.
I like the
It's
characters
a
when I
live
went in.
action Vox Machina. That's what
That's
That's
I'm
what I've
exactly
guessing.
what
heard.
I
I've
was
heard
gonna say.
exactly that. Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
guessing. See,
exactly.
seeing Chris Pine with the guitar and like these characters, they're very reminiscent of the Vox Machina characters, and just from the trailer, it seemed like it was gonna be like some slapstick comedy, and like very dialogue heavy comedy, and I'm just like, all right, this is Vox Machina live.
No, yeah, that's exactly the kind of vibes they give. Chris Evans, granted, he's not like doesn't have powers like Scanlan, and maybe the powers aren't exactly like
You mean
in
Chris
Vox
Pine?
Machina, but
That's great. Yeah, Chris
yeah,
Pine.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was a little
I
go.
don't,
I was like,
I don't
he's in
know
this
what I said.
movie.
I was a little go.
He's in the back. Don't worry about it. No, but he did very well. All the characters have great chemistry. They all bring a certain aspect to the movie, and overall, you get some pretty good laughs out of it, and witty retorts and repartee and all that goodness and good little fun action. So I actually at the end of the movie, I was like, that wasn't half bad at all. I kind of thought it was going to be a cheesy like World of Warcraft, like back in the day, they made that movie, and I
Oh
was like,
fuck that movie.
it was so bad. It was just like all CGI garbage looking. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. Plot wasn't there, nothing. But this one was a very fun watch. All the characters, like I said, they had nice fun banter, and they all kind of played their part very well. Like Michelle Rodriguez kind of plays this like orcish, not, I think she's a Titan or something, just like a brute, and she kind of plays that very well. And they all just bounce off each other, and it
Hey, is that
has this
Hugh
very.
Grant?
He is in the movie.
Okay, that is Hugh Grant. I was like, I
Yeah,
was throwing me
yeah,
off. I was like, what the fuck's he doing in this?
yeah. So it's a. I would highly recommend it. I would give it two thumbs up too. Like this one surprised me. We had a good movie week this week. I had a good movie week. So yeah, definitely two good movies in one week. That's awesome. I
There
uh
you go.
I give it up to Dungeon and Dragons. Let me see what IMDb rated them real quick. But overall, all their performances were phenomenal. Dang, I forgot his name. The magic guy. He was funny too. I've seen him in a couple shows. It got a 7.5 from IMDb. I totally agree. It was up there. It was up there. Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez did well. Regé Jean Page. I don't know. He
Yeah,
played a really
nailed it.
cool kind of. I probably bombed that so hard, but he played a really cool kind of like paladin type character. I was actually like, I want more of him. I wouldn't mind seeing a side movie with just him, kind of this enigma type character that just gets shit done. It's very very cool to watch. Justice Smith as the magician type character here. He was fun to watch too. He coming to terms with his powers and reaching his potential. It was a fun watch. You get to see a little growth. That is Hugh Grant. Um, who else is in this? I think those are the main people that I recognize. Yeah, so I would give this one two thumbs up. Definitely give it a watch if you're a fan of Vox Machina or like RPG type games where you get like the typical like classes, bard and wizards and all that, orcs, titans. If you like those types of RPG type games, I think you'll be very interested in this one, especially Chris Pine. He kind of is the lead character and runs everything. He definitely could hold his weight on screen. Funny dude, funny dude. I kind of don't know where else he's from. I know he's done a lot of movies, but seeing him in this one, he
Chris Pine?
he definitely kind of yeah, he kind of definitely won my heart
Star
on this
Trek,
one.
no?
Yeah, he is in that. I did like those.
And
Those are actually really good.
Wonder Woman.
Eh, the first one was good.
I mean,
Was he in the
he's in
first
both
one?
of them. He's in both of them. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dungeon and Dragons, underdog. I didn't expect much going in, and even seeing the trailer, it kind of didn't necessarily win me over, but the movie was definitely worthwhile, and I'm gonna end it there. So, check it out. Check it out if you're a fan of Vox Machina, of course, and it's like Eslam said, a live action Vox Machina. I kind of hope they do another one. It was a fun watch.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do another one. Real quick, I want to say happy birthday to Henry, who loves the double D's and raw.
Nice.
Oh
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Henry.
All right, so I'm up, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Now
sir.
it's been a while. It's been a while since I've gotten a chance to do PBW. We haven't been doing much of the W. You know what I'm saying? But we got that PB in there. So let's go ahead and let's share my screen. I'll do a couple quick major stories for the people. We're gonna do this window over here. Real quick, can you guys see the screen? Eslam, let me know when it's good.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So AEW is going to be doing their first pay per view overseas in London, and they sold so many goddamn tickets on the first day of pre-sale. It's fucking insane. And as you guys can see, it's named All In. The last time we had an event called All In was an indie event where Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks put together the world's largest indie show ever in wrestling history, and that show became so successful. A billionaire named Tony Khan decided he wanted to make a company called AEW and created AEW based off the All In show. So now AEW is doing an All In pay per view in London in Wembley Stadium. Uh, one of the most famous arenas in the world. And
Yeah.
real quick before I forget, Wrestle Talk wrote this article written by Sanchez Taylor. Thank you for that, sir. They have already sold 4.7 million dollars worth in tickets. That's just for the pre-sales. So AEW is fucking killing it. That arena has a capacity of 90,000 seats. So very curious to see what they do. The only other wrestling company that's put out big shows in that stadium is WWE, and they've only done so I think twice in their history. I could be wrong about that. So seeing AEW go out there selling this many tickets is insane. I know that they have a huge market base like overseas. So seeing them go out there and do that, that's pretty impressive. So shout out to them for killing it and doing the damn thing. Staying in the realm of AEW, I'm going to move over to some CM Punk stuff. So this is a quick one. I couldn't find exactly the article I wanted, but this pretty much just has it's going to help me lead into what's going on here. So this is an article, Wrestle Talk once again, written by Connell Rumsey. So CM Punk is sporting a new look. There you go. Look, he's bald again, like he used to be back when he was a heel in 2013, I think it was. But that's not the major story. The major story is, as we know, I talked about it many months ago.
That'd be hilarious if that was the major story. CM Punk is bald.
Honestly, this is a huge story in the world of wrestling. Like, oh my god, CM Punk got his hair. That's where we're at with wrestling. And if you put CM Punk in the title, everybody wants to see what the fuck is happening. But I talked about a couple months ago. There was the all out, there was the brawl out at All Out, where you had backstage CM Punk, a good buddy of his, got into a fight with Kenny Omega, the Elite, and some others. Everybody was suspended. All the people involved were like champions at the time. They all had to drop the titles. Titles were vacated, and AEW suspended all of them, continued the shows without them. Since then, as I've mentioned on the podcast as well, the Elite has come back. They've won the trios titles, lost them since then, and they've been doing the thing. So everybody's saying, okay, you got the Elite back. Are you bringing CM Punk back? Because CM Punk drew big numbers. But the Elite are the people who helped create AEW. They're the reason why AEW exists in the first place.
Mhm.
So if you have CM Punk, one of the biggest number draws in AEW, and the Elite, the people who are also huge number draws and created the damn company, can't work cohesively, is Punk coming back? It sounds like they're doing everything they can possible to make it so that they have everybody involved remaining in the company. So over these weeks that I haven't been able to do PBW, there have been a couple of things that have been happening. So CM Punk and the Elite, they still have heat apparently, but Punk is willing to come back and work in the company. The Elite is okay with him coming back, but they want to try to do something where they don't work with one another. They're still in the company, and they're going so far as to even thinking about, you know how WWE has Raw and SmackDown, and every once in a while they do a draft where they separate the staff. They're thinking about doing the same thing in AEW, where you have one AEW show with another AEW show, because it turns out AEW is supposed to be having another 2 hour show soon at some point. So you might have people who are willing to work with Punk on one show, people who don't want to deal with him on another show, which take that for if you will. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? If you have somebody who half the people on your roster doesn't want to work with, that might be an issue. But at the same time, this guy's one of the biggest names in wrestling history. So you good? All right. So we got that going on. So apparently there was a secret behind closed doors meeting where Punk met with FTR, who he's good friends with in AW tag team, and Chris Jericho along with Tony Khan to have some type of discussion to see if Jericho gives the okay to have Punk come back because Jericho has recently become Tony Khan's like right hand man, and if Jericho seems to be okay with it, he's gonna like on behalf of like the AEW roster be like, okay, Jericho being the locker room leader, Punk's okay. We could kind of work with him. So the meeting occurred. We don't know what's happened with that. And ever since then, there have been a couple weird things where WWE Raw not too long ago was in Chicago, and CM Punk was apparently backstage at a WWE show, which is fucking crazy. It was also found out that he was removed by WWE from the WWE show, but he did have a discussion with Triple H at some point. We don't know about what. Um, Shortly after that, CM Punk was seen backstage at a TNA, not TNA, at an Impact show, another wrestling promotion. You know, Punk's a wrestler. He's been a wrestler for many years. He has friends in all these promotions. Maybe he's just visiting people because they were in his hometown. We don't know. But it's just a lot of stories are coming around, and supposedly Punk's supposed to be coming back when AEW does their next show in Chicago. So we'll see if that's the case or not. Also, CM Punk is bald. So real quick, going to move over to Impact. I never really get to talk about them in PBW, so I'm glad to mention it here. This is actually a tweet from Kumar Zaman. He got some images of a very famous wrestler who made her debut in Impact. So these aren't the greatest images, but as we can see, Trinity Fatu, formerly known as Naomi in WWE, has finally returned to wrestling. She is in Impact. So Trinity Fatu, formerly known as Naomi, the wife of Jimmy Uso in WWE, she and Sasha Banks left. I think years ago at this point, or a year ago at this point, where they were upset about the women's tag titles not being spotlighted in WWE, and they were just like, "Fuck this, we're leaving the company." They walked out, and then were eventually released from their contracts. As we know, Sasha Banks became Mercedes Monet, and she's been wrestling in Japan and a couple other places, and she's like this one of these top indie prospects right now. Uh, so now we finally get to see what happened to Naomi Trinity. She's here on Impact. She's already competing for titles there and everything. The fucked up thing is you have a lot of fans who are like, this is bullshit. Nobody watches Impact. But then you start to remember that some of the best wrestlers ever have come from Impact. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. Like, they were on many other shows, but they did have a big part in Impact as well as like Sting, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, all these big names. So seeing her there is great. Hopefully she has a huge success and becomes a star in this company. Pretty much how they never really made her into one that she should have been in WWE. And last news story I got here real quick. I find this interesting. First off, as always, let's look at Vince McMahon's face. That's my thing. I always want to zoom in on his face if possible. Real quick, this is also from Wrestle Talk, another story written by Sanchez Taylor.
He just looks like he's up to no
Let's give
good.
Sanchez Taylor some spotlight right there. Look at that guy. Look at how happy he is.
Vince McMahon looks
Back to
like those
Vince.
women that do a lot of Botox. That
I
get
mean,
that short
I think
haircut.
he's one of those men who do a lot of Botox. Let's be real.
I know, but
Yeah. Also, is that a shark or is it a T-Rex, Eslam? You know
it's a
animals.
T-Rex.
That's a T-Rex. It's not a shark.
No.
How do you know the difference?
Sharks have rows of
Don't
teeth,
have-
not
they don't have
types
those
of
teeth,
teeth.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Also, the
Appreciate it.
jaw structure is different.
I don't know. It's a fucking animal.
If they show a shark uh, tooth, it's never sideways because it can't be sideways. It's like a shark jaw looks like this. It's in
Okay.
this shape.
Okay, makes sense. Well, I get it. It makes perfect sense. As man's old, he probably just has one of his best friends back there hanging. But besides that, I just find this article pretty interesting.
It's
WWE
his
Creative
dog from back in the day.
Jesus. WWE Creative scoffed at Vince McMahon pitches for Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. So I don't really have much to say about this, but what stems from this. So I want to say one of the last times I did a bigger episode of PBW was talking about whether or not Vince McMahon is still running the show. And since then, things have happened. Triple H has been running the show. Vince has been doing it. So things have been okay. They're okay. And this kind of proves it. Where Vince McMahon is over here writing pitches for what's going on with Roman Reigns, who's been champion for damn near 1,000 days now. And then you have Vince McMahon's writing a pitch, and then you have somebody from WWE Creative fucking scoffs at him. Great sign. Because if that was the case, if somebody even thought of doing that, they would have been fired from the fucking company. So the fact that we have writers doing this now shows that, okay, Triple H is running the show. I did read another article. I was trying to find it here. I couldn't. Where apparently Triple H is also ending, quote unquote, all of the Vince McMahon storylines that are in place, and is we're gonna have fully just straight up Triple H led stories in WWE, which is a great thing. So good to see that. Vince McMahon's still doing his thing as the what is it, president, I think, of WWE once the merger happens with UFC and all that Endeavor. So, but at least the day to day, the storylines and all that stuff is still Triple H, which is a great thing I think for wrestling fans. Until people decide Triple H is old and they want to turn on him. But for now, he's good. He's old and we like him, and he still spits water. So shout out to you, Triple H, and thank you for not having an H in your real name. So that's everything I have for my actual my wrestling news. I'm sorry, I'm half asleep now at this point. But that's PBW. It's glad to be back.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, well, let's do. Let's wrap up
Final
this
thought.
episode. I'll go first. Final thoughts. Man, I cannot. There's like three games that I want to play that I can't play right now, but hopefully I'll be able to play Zelda because it plays on the old Switch. But I need news about this PS5 Pro to come out ASAP so I can get that shit so I can play.
I think you got a little bit
Um,
to go.
I guess yeah. I'm not buying the PS5 now. If it's within a year, then I'll just wait. It's whatever. Um,
I'd give it two.
Two really?
I give it two. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Uh, we'll see. Um, but yeah, I really want to play Jedi Survivor, and I don't really need to play this, but I do want to continue the story, which is fuck, what's it called?
Horizon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and those are my final thoughts. Can't wait. All right.
Did you ever beat the God of War? I mean, is
I
that
never
your
went
God?
back to it.
Yeah. The podcast ruined it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't even
Ah,
want to bother with
ah,
Jedi Survivor. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not playing this
yeah.
for the
That's why I didn't even bring it up.
podcast.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
I still I honestly God I really feel bad about God of War for you. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But
You had to do it for people like Henry out there. Let's blame him. You know.
hey, it's all good. Still
He
love you,
needed to
Henry.
know.
Yeah. All right, Disco. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Man, I have these next 2 weeks are like finals weeks. Ooh, Diablo 4. I want to play that. I played
Yo,
Diablo 3 and I liked it.
actually,
So
I'm gonna save it for my final thoughts. I know what I'm gonna talk about now. Thank you, Henry.
so man, that's awesome. So for the next 2 weeks are finals week, so I'm gonna be very busy, and I'm also probably gonna be moving to a new apartment within these 2 to 3 weeks. So I got a lot going on, and I just can't wait for it all to be done so that I can play some Zelda with my bros, myself most likely. um,
So sad.
Well, it's not a
I
multiplayer
mean, it's a
game.
single player game, yeah, but it's still that's sad.
so
Well,
I'm
you're
looking
living down
forward.
when you said it everything. Myself, like,
A bunch of people could get together and play a single player game.
I
No,
guess.
but
I guess.
I'm looking forward to just being done with all this. Life is coming at me, so just waiting for those next 2 weeks to be done so I can wind down, relax a little, and be not have to worry about school because school is, man, it's real tough. I spent 3 hours yesterday, no, 2 days ago on homework, on one homework. It's crazy out there, man. Stay out of school, kids. That'll get you. It'll get you. No, I'm just playing. Definitely, if you can, school's a blessing. Definitely pick up a trade or do a 2 year, whatever. It only benefits you. But I'm just looking forward to getting it over with so I can play some games and have time. And like I mentioned last week, I want to get back into writing. I've been writing a bunch of like notes for my book and getting all these ideas. And I've been looking all these like ancient Egyptian videos and lore and ancient Indian lore too. And they got the craziest stories. So I kind of want to, you know, tidbit take some ideas and really to deliver an awesome story for y'all. I'm just I need time. That's what it is. That's my final thoughts. I need more time.
Yeah. I want Henry's final thoughts to be showed up on the chat if possible. That's a great story. Final
Okay.
thoughts for me. Got a text. A text from my sister was told by dog Willie, who had his toe amputated because of a tumor, because a tumor burst, is now cancer free. So shout out to Willie, Henry's dog. Congrats, he's cancer free. That's
Yeah.
great news. We're all animal lovers here, so we like to see
Yeah.
that. So that's a
Yeah.
great final thought. Thank you for sharing that, Henry.
That was
Um,
awesome.
for me, real quick, whatever the hell that was, Disco, that you did, where you're just like, don't go to school. I just the whole time I just saw this character called Uncle Disco, and I want to do something with that. So, but anyway, my final thoughts.
That
Uh,
could be a TV show.
yeah, right, Uncle Disco. But real quick, Final Fantasy 16. Can't wait to fucking play it. It looks phenomenal. Diablo 4. I played the open beta for it. Disco. I'm gonna get Diablo 4. You can get Diablo 4. We could play on different consoles. It's cross-platform. We could start a fucking clan, and I'm down for it if you're down for it.
Is it laptop? Because I gave Eric my Xbox because his shit broke.
You can play a shit on anything you want. Henry, you want it
Switch.
on this clan? You want it on this clan, Henry?
I might do it
He
too.
said,
Let's
"I
go.
shit. Let's go." This man shit himself.
All right, all right.
Put that in
I'm
the
actually,
chat, Eslam.
I'm
This man
honestly
shit himself.
really down. If y'all jump on Diablo 4 without me, I will jump off this podcast. Like,
I don't even like
I,
multiplayer games like that, but Diablo 4 was so good. I'm down.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
down.
really, wow,
Yeah.
wow. I never
Um,
took you for like an RPG type person.
Man, that's the game type I like the most.
Yeah.
Are you?
I talk about it all the time on
Skyrim.
the podcast. I always
Okay.
bring up Skyrim.
You like to level up and do powers and
Yeah,
stuff
I
and
love it,
dungeon
man.
crawl?
But real quick, Rogue always, Henry. But what's
Ah,
it
that's
called?
that's what I like to choose too.
No, I might change it up. I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. But
Actually,
honestly,
in 3, I chose the shaman
okay.
or whatever that was.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna have to talk at some point where we all figure it out. Eslam, we could tell you about it because you're not gonna play. But no, my final thought is Jedi Survivor, real quick.
Witch Doctor, yeah, that's who I was.
What's it called Jedi Survivor? Great game. I hear there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of crashes. Great news so far for me on PS5. Have not encountered one bug. Maybe I looked out. Maybe because of the day one patch, I'm good. But I'm liking the game. It plays just like the original, so I know that's good news for anybody who likes the original Islam.
Mhm.
And it's good. I'm enjoying it. There's a lot more customization. I gave my Cal Kestis a grown man beard
Nice.
because he's a grown man now.
Hmm.
And you could change the outfits. Everything is not a poncho, so that's nice. You could change a lot of stuff with BD1. There's more customizations for the lightsaber, more force powers, stories that involve the High Republic. That's what it's called, right? So
Yeah.
the High Republic is involved in
Mhm.
these storylines, which is really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a great time. I'll keep you guys updated on that.
That's
I'm
like
sure
the
I'm gonna.
golden age of Jedi.
Yeah, exactly.
That was right before
Yeah.
the events of Star Wars.
Yeah. So I mean, that's there. There are ponchos, Henry. Just not every. You don't have to pick a poncho. But no, it's great. I'm enjoying it. I'll keep you guys updated, and hopefully, I don't run into any bugs now that I've jinxed myself. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
right. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow us on social media. Uh, go check out the Los Wise Guys website. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out immensely with the algorithm. Comment below. Tell us what you think about everything we talked about. And then share with your friends. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.